Script Studios. This is San Diego's news source, 10 News.
Is starting the conversation to somebody else that drinking and driving is just not okay.
It's an emotional night for dozens of Oceanside CHP and Carlsbad police officers who are out right now conducting a DUI checkpoint. That checkpoint all about these two Oceanside CHP officers killed by drunk drivers.
10 News reporter Candace Crone is live along Carlsbad Boulevard. And Candace, the families of the officers killed say tonight's checkpoint is bittersweet.
Yeah, they told me that they're glad these tonight. Candace Crone, 10 News.
Meantime, this man is in jail tonight accused of robbing a bank in Claremont and then leading police on a wild chase that ended in a crash. Police say he held up a Wells Fargo here on Balboa and Genesee. The chase ended here at the I-8 off-ramp at Sports Arena Boulevard. Tonight, the FBI looking into whether the suspect is one of the serial bank robbers they've been looking for, dubbed El Chaparrito. Soon after this bank robbery suspect was detained,
Well, tonight, the Secret Service is trying to explain how two men got past White House security. A 19-year-old was arrested today after he tried to drive through a barricaded entryway. As ABC's Michelle Franzen explains, it happened just one day after a man hopped the White House fence carrying a knife.
This is Michelle Franzen, ABC News, New York.
And we're on top of breaking news out of Riverside County, where a stretch of southbound Interstate 15 has been shut down in Corona for the last hour. All we know right now are the deputies are investigating a shooting that happened on the freeway. One person has been transported in critical condition. You can see from these photos posted on Twitter, traffic is currently at a standstill. Police are advising everyone to avoid the area. We'll, of course, continue to monitor this situation closely and bring you any new details on 10 News this morning, starting at 5 a.m.
tomorrow, the NTSB will begin investigating what caused a plane to crash about 2 hours east of San Diego, killing the pilot. An aerial crew spotted the Cessna 162 Skycatcher near Anza Borrego State Park this morning around 7. Deputies say the pilot left Arizona yesterday, headed for San Diego. Investigators are still working to notify the pilot's family.
Tonight, the tense manhunt for 5 men who escaped from the Madera County Jail is ramping up. The men between 19 and 33 years old escaped late last night. They were being held on charges from attempted murder to armed robbery and are thought to be gang members. Authorities wouldn't say how they got out, but all 5 are considered armed and dangerous.
And we're on top of major news. 49 Turkish nationals, including diplomats, are free tonight after nearly 4 months at ISIS hostages. They were freed early this morning in a top-secret rescue mission. Meantime, U.S. intelligence officials are combing through a recent ISIS video. They're looking for clues about a man who speaks perfect English and appears to execute a group of Syrians after they're made to dig their own graves. U.S. officials say it's much too early to tell where his dialect is from.
Tonight, police in Pennsylvania have narrowed their search for the gunman who murdered one state trooper and wounded another. Authorities have largely shut down the heavily wooded community in the Pocono Mountains, where 31-year-old Eric Freen lived with his parents. The search is more complicated and more dangerous because Freen is a skilled woodsman and a trained marksman.
If he wants to kill more cops, he's probably waiting for them to walk into his kill box.
Residents are being told to stay behind locked doors. For some who do venture outdoors, guns have become emergency provisions.
A motorcyclist is dead tonight after a crash in Oceanside. According to the California Highway Patrol, the crash happened on the 9700 block of the 76 just after 11 this morning, and that's just east of the San Luis Rey Downs Golf Club. The CHP says he was taken by air to a hospital where he was pronounced dead.
More than 100 passengers are back on dry land tonight after their tour boat ran aground in the Hudson River. 121 passengers were rescued off the Clipper City today after the 158-foot sailboat ran aground near the Statue of Liberty. It took police, fire, Coast Guard, and U.S. Parks Department about an hour and a half to get all of the passengers safely back to land.
He got stuck on the reef.
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden the boat stopped and nothing was happening. And then the police came and got us and took us back to shore, and it was fine.
Well, no one was hurt, but a wedding did have to be canceled.
Thousands of people in Northern California remain out of their homes tonight as firefighters battle the King Fire. Now, that fire is just 10% contained tonight and has spread to the Tahoe National Forest. It's also threatening a key UC Berkeley research station. The man accused of starting the fire last week, Wayne Huntsman, has pleaded not guilty to arson.
Well, the money has been counted tonight, and $3,500 has been raised during a special event aimed at restoring an important piece of Junior Seau's legacy. Seau started Club 55, a fitness center to help the community, but as 10 News first told you about yesterday, the center has been struggling to maintain its equipment since he died in 2012. Family and friends held a silent auction tonight to raise money to purchase new equipment for the gym and to keep Seau's memory alive.
It's something that I know that he would want to keep going. So if we can give back to the community and give it to our kids, you know, that's what it's all about.
Now, tonight's fundraiser was approved by the Seau family, and unlike the last donation debacle where money was collected for a statue, those funds were supposed to go to Club 55, but the family says the fitness center never saw a dime. Next and new tonight, the controversial event that got people fired up in the East County today.
Plus, new developments in the search for a missing college student in Virginia. The person of interest now identified in the case.
And the honor for a firefighter who died after taking part in the Ice Bucket Challenge.
And we'll wake up to some patchy clouds tomorrow morning at the coast. Another sunny afternoon with a good sea breeze at about 5.
And right now we're following more breaking news out of Mission Valley, where a wrong-way driver is in custody after leading police on a chase across several freeways. It ended when the driver crashed at the 163 and Friars Road. Officers say it started on the 125. The driver then went on several freeways before the CHP put out spike strips. Of course, we'll continue to monitor any new developments overnight and bring you the very latest on 10 News this morning.
New tonight, hundreds of adults and minors showed up to an East County gun range today to fire weapons. Today's event comes just weeks after the accidental death by Uzi of an Arizona gun instructor at the hands of a 9-year-old. But a local assemblyman says that's not the reason to open fire in honor of the Second Amendment.
To coincide with Constitution Week, the chance for people to come and unload. Men, women, minors invited to 71st District Assemblyman Brian Jones' Second Amendment awareness event. They'd hoped would attract first-time shooters.
When you're ready to shoot, call for the bird.
Like Tyler Cody.
It's bare essentials to protect yourself nowadays.
As Americans, it's our birthright that our founding fathers and our U.S. military have fought for centuries to give us.
It is the 4th year of instruction that also offers to teach even the young how to aim and shoot.
There's your pocket right here.
And it comes less than a month after this.
All right, go ahead and give me one shot.
At a popular resort, a 9-year-old girl getting a lesson with an Uzi.
All right, full out of...
Weapons instructor Charles Vaca shot in the head by a stray bullet when the machine gun's recoil causes her to lose control.
Accidents do happen, but there's hundreds of millions of firearms owned by Americans today, and you know, these accidents are very rare. Firearms, if used properly, handled properly, and trained properly, are very safe.
Jones says he's concerned by the anti-gun legislation being introduced in the California legislature.
Hi.
So here he says they aim to educate, even inspire people about their Second Amendment right.
Help turn the culture in California.
Now, about 200 people showed up to take part in today's event.
Meantime, search efforts will resume at daybreak tomorrow for the missing University of Virginia student Hannah Graham. She was last seen a week ago leaving a dinner with friends. But tonight, investigators identified a person of interest in the case seen with Graham in surveillance video. That surveillance video, Jesse Matthews. He's not a suspect at this point, though his apartment and car were both searched.
A Kentucky firefighter has died almost a month after he was shocked while doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. Fire stations across Louisville hung flags on overpasses as Captain Tony Greider's body was moved to a funeral home this afternoon. Last month, he and 2 others were shocked by power lines while helping a local marching band do the challenge. 2 other firefighters suffered less severe injuries in the incident.
Those who have lost loved ones to murder came together in solidarity today. Family and friends of victims put their loved ones' names on T-shirts and painted rocks at the River of Remembrance. It was put on by the Survivors of Violent Loss program, along with the Karen Knott Foundation. Those who come to the event say it's not only helping them pass on the legacy of their loved ones, but creates a tremendous network of support.
The longest boat in the Great Lakes ran aground in a Minnesota harbor today. Authorities say it had just loaded to capacity, carrying 68,000 tons of coal when it ran aground. The cause is under investigation. There were no reports of any injuries or spills. According to a Twitter post from the Duluth News Tribune, Crews have freed the 1,000-foot ship.
New tonight, General Motors is recalling over 220,000 cars for a fire risk. The Cadillac XTS and Chevrolet Impala sedans are being recalled because the brake pads can stay partially engaged even when they're not needed, increasing the risk of a fire. The recall involves Cadillacs from the 2013 through 2015 model years and Impalas from the 2014 and 2015 model years.
Meantime, the most electric cars San Diego has ever seen at one time rolled into town today. San Diegans celebrated the milestone of 10,000 electric cars on the road at Electric Vehicle Day. There were over 100 electric cars at the latest models that people got to test drive around Liberty Station.
Imagine going home, driving in a car, and not having to go to a gas station, not paying $4 a gallon for gas. Think about what you're doing for the future, too, the clean air that we're creating by not driving a gasoline car.
Well, the goal is to reach 1.5 million zero-emission cars by 2015.
Now, Pinpoint Weather, brought to you by the White Glove guys at ASI Hastings Heating, Air and Solar.
And it was a great day to be out there today. The weather is just beautiful again.
It's finally cooperating.
Right, we've been waiting for this all summer, and the last weekend it finally gives in. And in fact, we start fall on Monday, but overall that nice weather is in the upper 80s by the time we get into Tuesday. But a lot of wind next weekend. Tomorrow's great though.
Yeah.
Nice way to end the weekend.
Really nice. And we're welcoming fall.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird. Summer's over.
I know.
We like fall here.
And we do, right?
Doesn't affect us.
Yeah, that's true. That's all.
All right,
well, there's still more ahead on 10 News at 11.
All right.
I'll take it.
Next, what's in store tomorrow for the final day of the Coronado Speed Festival? We'll be right back. Ooh, rev those engines. Tomorrow is the final day of the Coronado Speed Festival at NAS North Island. As part of this year's Fleet Week, the Navy is inviting the public to take a tour of 3 of their ships and take a look at some of their aircraft on display. This year, all of the Fleet Week events, including the Miramar Air Show, are scheduled to go on as planned. And of course, we have a link to more information about those activities right on 10news.com. All you got to do is click on the red TV button.
Okay, well, a man is being praised tonight for saving a college mascot during the Texas A&M versus SMU game. A Texas A&M handler checked an SMU player who almost ran over the Aggies dog mascot, Rayville. Maybe that's Rayville, actually. You can see the man lowered his shoulder and blocked the out-of-control player. Rayville was unfazed by the whole thing and just relaxed in her comfy bed on the sideline.
Wow.
I like it.
All right, after a week off, the Aztecs are back in action at Oregon State.
Coming up, why SDSU is still no match for teams in the Pac-12 conference. That's next in Sports Extra.